Hey divas, this is just going to be like a super quick video. It's not going to be a really in-depth get ready with me, but I'm just going to be using a couple products that I don't know if I've talked about before or I feel like I haven't talked about in a while. My newest product obsessions is the Dr. Idris barrier-based lip-based balm. I've been using this before I start my complexion makeup. Leaves my lips really soft and smooth. Lately, I've been really chapped, especially around the edges of my lips, and this has really been helping with softening that skin and keeping my lips feeling nice and hydrated without feeling goopy. A step I've been literally doing every day, but I don't know if I've ever talked about, is the additional concealing I do along my jawline. I do shave every day, and you can still see the pigmentation of the hair coming through. So lately, I've been using the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealer. This wasn't my favorite for my under eyes, but for using it for additional coverage on the jawline, it's working really well. And then I just tap that in with a flat top brush. This is a really old Morphe G6. I would just like to use this to give that extra bit of coverage there, since like I said, my pigment shows through and then my redness shows through as well. So this is just really great to build up a little bit for me. Recently, I just started reusing the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. I don't remember what this is called. The Real Techniques Blending Sponge. I was using the kimchi one for quite a while, but my nails shredded it and I can't find any more in store. And I found a couple of these that I still had in their original packaging. And I forgot just how amazing that this blending sponge was, because it does the job. It's still firm enough that I don't feel like it's just flopping around, but it doesn't hurt to use against the skin or the under eye. And it blends extremely fast, especially with the amount of concealer that I use and how long I let it sit. It blends really beautifully. This is the Rare Beauty Liquid Blush in the shade Hope. I don't know if I've ever used one of these on camera before. I'm going to go in with the Makeup by Mario F4 brush. I'm going to use the smaller side here, and we're just going to wake that pigment up. This one, I really like the shade of this because it is very soft. My application's not very soft, but that's okay. I'm applying this over top of my concealer, and then I'll go back in with my sponge and kind of blend them together and marry the two shades so it's not such a stark difference. I'm a little devastated to share I only have 2 of the MAC Studio Fix original powder formulas left. This is my everyday powder that I use throughout the center of my face and kind of to knock off some of the setting powder that I use. And this powder has been one of my go-tos for almost 10 years, since before I even worked for MAC. So I want to pick up one of the newer powder formulas and give it a shot and see what we think, but I am very nervous. I know that this is fabulous for a really bushy look, so today I did a feathery brow. I didn't use any pomade, just a pen. I'm going to go ahead and start by brushing all my hairs backwards so I can make sure that they're all coated. And now that they are coated and tacky, I'm going to pop that top so I can grab the comb. I'm going to use the flat side of the comb, and I'm going to just go ahead and start brushing the hairs directly up. Right off the bat, this is some good hold. It is a little sticky where there's like additional hairs, because I do have some very full brows. So this is getting through some of the areas that are a little bit sparser, but some of the areas where I have kind of denser hair, it's not doing the best brush through. It did also lift off my brow pen, so I can see a couple spots where like the pigment has moved, but the hold feels fairly nice. Now this is a favorite that we've discussed before, but I feel like she needs her shine again. Benefit FanFest Mascara, the best mascara I have ever used in my life. That is not an exaggeration. As someone who's been doing this for almost 15 years, this is a mascara that I will continue to recommend over and over again. Obviously, I do love my falsies, but I love how black this mascara is. I feel like it really coats each lash. After I get my top lashes on, I'll show you what it looks like on the bottom lashes, and it stands out time and time again. So now that we have our falsies on, I'm gonna just do a quick coating on my bottom lashes. With this mascara, it gives you really beautiful length and volume. I'm gonna try to hold my mirror so you can see the whole application. So I like to kind of flip it to where the curve is following the shape of my under eye. Do a couple strokes through, and then I like to do some wiggling. If you get any that like stamps underneath your eye, that's okay. We can clean it up after. And then we're gonna make the mascara face so we can get the corner. But the way that this coats your bottom lashes, like from that to that, hello. Last new product I'm gonna showcase is the Merit Volumizing Brow Pomade Gel. I used to use the Anastasia Dip Brow Gel in my mustache, but it has sadly been discontinued. And the formula of this is very similar to Dip Brow Gel. I like the shade of this. The dark brown shade is a fairly close match for how I do my brows. But this is nice because it just kind of conditions the hairs to lay in place and gives me the color that I need. Especially after putting on my brows, I want to make sure that my facial hair is kind of darker to match. I'm going to go finish up my makeup and I'll be back. I lied. The last product I want to showcase is the EXO Cosmetics lip gloss. This is one of my favorite lip gloss formulas. I have worn this a couple times, but I always forget that they sent me such a beautiful array of it. This gloss is so shiny. It wears beautifully. It does not get gooey. This is the shade First Class. Now I'll be back.